Hi Scorpio, welcome to your September 2018 love reading. It's Rena here. I was just thinking, did I do Scorpio already? Because I'm doing it over the course of a few days, putting up these readings. And well, if I already did your sign, then you're going to get a bonus reading. What can I say? I don't think I did though. I hope I didn't. But anyway, I'm using the Morgan Greer deck, and then I will end the reading with an Akashic Tarot card. Those cards are not like the typical. That's not the same type of deck as a typical. Hopefully I can get through this with all the environmental noise. Been getting this Six of Wands a lot lately for some reason. I think because I think it might be associated with Leo, and I'm in Leo as I record this. The day before the solar eclipse, here's another fire energy in Leo. So maybe that's why I am getting this. But I think also that people are feeling kind of, you know, revved up for whatever reason. Okay. So you got one major arcana, oh, two. Interesting. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Six of Wands, which is a card of, I would say, particularly success with career matters. And this is like recognition for your success. I think that, is that a laurel? And you know how they say rest on your laurels? And so that is I think that's a symbol of victory, right? Something along those lines. I think it's associated with Leo, but it's definitely associated with fire, being wands. And fire energy, one of the qualities of fire is, I would say, self-esteem. I was going to use the word pride, actually. And it's funny how the word pride has become such a negative, have such a negative connotation. And, you know, pride is something that can be positive. It doesn't have to be negative at all. And being proud of your achievements, which is what this card represents. So what is behind being proud of your achievements? I think everyone would agree that this card is talking about self-love and really being able to feel good about good things coming to you, including compliments, because this card could be people saying, wow, that was great, you did a great job. But some people cannot accept compliments. And so how that relates to a love reading is that you may have met somebody that is good to you and it is hard to take. Or this could be like a fire sign individual who has this type of mentality, and you may be used to people tearing you down, or just being withholding of praise, right? That's something else that people do. They may never like just outright criticize you, but they never say, I love you, I appreciate you, boy, you know, one thing you're really good, and just say what, you know, you're so good at. And it's interesting because sometimes there are people who really have trust issues, and I think Scorpio as a sign has a theme of that, but it certainly can be any sign, for sure. And they question those kinds of remarks. If somebody says, wow, you know, you're really a good cook, they might say, oh, well, you know, I wonder what he or she wants from me. And I think that that's sad. I think that, but I do think that it certainly makes sense to be like that if you notice somebody being phony in general, that they're almost too good to be true. So I'm not saying that we should just accept everything, because sometimes people are trying to flatter us for ulterior motives. But I'm talking about just across the board. If that's how you receive compliments, then look at that, because this is the central theme here. And this could be a relationship with a fire sign too. Maybe even that you meet in your line of work. So we're talking about Aries, Leo, the big one for Scorpio, and Sagittarius. The foundation card is the Moon card. Let me get this one because this is the challenge card. The challenge card is the Queen of Swords. So if this is you, hopefully not, but if this is you, a facet of you, especially if you're a woman, this and that is a man, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was just thinking in terms of who he is, you know, showing a man in the card. But don't become one of those women who use harsh language to fend off somebody saying good things. The Queen of Swords is the cutting kind of remarks that, okay, I'm a woman, so I can say this about women. I'm not saying that only women do this, but women specialize in this because the intuitive part that the Queen represents, that many women embody, is the ability to hone in on somebody intuitively and know their weaknesses and use that against them verbally, okay? So psychological warfare, I would call it, okay? Now, we're talking about a very positive card with the Six of Wands. So if there's somebody who is really being positive towards you and you're being like a cornered animal and you're kind of lashing out at this person because you don't trust, then that's problematic. This could be somebody else, though, who is jealous, maybe the mother of their child, who is jealous that they like you instead of them, and you know they're on the warpath, and they could be targeting you. They may know you because of the circle of friends you're in or what have you. And but this is interesting because this was the card I got as the foundation card, which can speak about past influences coming into the present situation. And I got the Moon card, which means that perhaps there are things that you don't know about the situation. Sometimes you may have found somebody who is actually still with someone else, and they're portraying them like the Queen of Swords. And maybe this person is doing certain things, but she may be doing this because she is in a relationship with this person. And she feels like she has to fight for the crumbs that she's getting. And that's sad too. So you may be in a triangle of sorts. But the Moon card is really about making sure that you're not lying to yourself or that you're receiving full information about this person. Because it can always be that this person is, I don't know, shading the truth, mischaracterizing their circumstance or their private life to you. If this person is a fire sign, it would really surprise me if they are lying, though. I really feel like fire sign people tend to be very straightforward. Maybe I'm sure there are going to be some of you that go, oh, no, I know this person, they're a liar, they're a pathological liar, and things like that. But and I see it as a positive, I see that Six of Wands in a positive way, So it's hard to know unless this is the timing card with the, let's think about what is going on. Oh, yeah. So I'm doing this reading for September. I hope I said September and not August, but I'm recording it in August. I'm recording this reading, and a lot of people will be listening to this reading, watching this reading before the full moon in Pisces, fellow water sign, happening on the 26th of August. And actually, this is the past position, so it could be talking about timing issues. This is happening in your 5th house of romance. So there's a possibility that you will be made aware of something about somebody that you're interested in or you have been seeing that you didn't know. And it's important, and by the way, this card is connected to Pisces too, so that kind of may be a confirmation that this is a timing card. I don't know. But that could lead to this and this. You don't want to, this is what I'm trying to say, you don't want to become this person because you might find out something about this individual. Even if somebody has been lying to you, take the high road, because the thing is that you don't want to invest energy, even a negative energy, into somebody else's situation. Let them, if that's what they want to do, if that's how they conduct themselves, then let them be with that other person. Don't fight for somebody who is deceptive. There's no sense in that whatsoever. One thing I want to say too is that the Moon card could be indicating that even something I would say too about the lunar eclipse that happened at the end of July, where the lunar eclipse in Aquarius, this was your 4th house of home and family. This was your childhood. This could be some understanding that you have come to in the month of August. The reason I'm saying the month of August is because the lunar eclipse happened the end of July, and so during the month of August, you may, through means or channels that you didn't set out to do so, have these aha moments that connect to the past. Okay, Scorpio, and in these moments, maybe in dreams even, in these moments, you may discover exactly what, make that connection between trust issues and a current relationship. Because this person could be a very positive person and you are not being nice to this person. The Queen of Swords, according to my Tarot Plain and Simple book by Anthony Lewis, he calls the reverse Queen of Swords a real bitch. You could be acting in a bitchy manner because you believe the best defense is a good offense, and there's no need to defend. What I'm saying is that you're dealing with somebody who's treating you right, and you're still in that defensive posture because of your own past, perhaps, and you don't want to lose a potentially good relationship. So I presented you with 2 scenarios. One of them might be that this 6 of Wands is somebody who's deceptive. But in the other example, this could be a good guy, and you're the one that's pushing him away. And we have here the higher message, which is the King of Wands. If you had a father, because kings can be fathers, who was kind of larger than life, may have been everything to you, and you lost him very early in life. This could certainly be coloring your experience. You could have abandonment issues. This is in the upright position, though. So this, if I had gotten this King of Wands in the reversed position, I would say that this person is a bully, is, kind of like negative traits. But in the upright position, this person would have been a very dynamic individual, may have been the leader of the family. And yet, if he passed away when you were young, then everything changed after that. And with Scorpio, as well as the other water signs, there seems to be a strong link between losing the father in some way, during childhood. It could be abandonment, like, leaving the family to their own devices. It could be that the father is there, but the father is very, very weak, addicted, and otherwise not the head of the household. But in this case, he would have been that alpha male. And Scorpio women really identify and are attracted to alpha males. They really are. I know some of you will dispute this, and of course every Scorpio woman is not going to be the same, but I'm going to go out on a limb with that one. That overall, I believe that Scorpio women like strong traditional men. Traditional meaning they want to rule the roost. And you will find a lot of Scorpio women that are willing to take a back seat to them and be, kind of like the I was going to say the little woman, but be like a traditional woman, even though in their other roles that they play in life, they may be much more aggressive. But Scorpio is a feminine sign, okay? And so the Scorpio women don't always want to act like a man when they are in their relationships. Many times, because they value strength in others, they want that from a man. And they're willing to be, I don't know about subservient, but they're willing to be, oh my God, I'm not going to say obedient. I'm going to say, play those roles, play those traditional roles. Okay? But there could still be residue of this going on with some of you women. And that's just how I see it, and, just look at your behavior. Especially, I see that thing with the water sign women where they have ambivalent feelings towards men. They may really want a strong male in their life, but they feel resentful because maybe certain things happened to them, including the death of a father that they perceived as abandonment and didn't see it in the correct light. And so there can be, if you've ever seen, this is a perfect example, if you've ever seen the movie with Elizabeth Taylor called Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. This is a perfect example of a water sign woman. Elizabeth Taylor was a Pisces, and I think she had a moon in Scorpio, okay? And so she was very feminine. She always had to be married. She always had to have a man, but she was a very feminine woman, and she was in this what was his name? Her husband. Oh gosh. I know I'm going off on a tangent. I'm drawing a blank. I know that everyone knows who he is. And he was a Scorpio. Gosh, what a great actor he was too. I can't think of it, but you know who he was. And that was her husband in real life, and they were really together when they did that movie. And it was like her being very castrating towards him with her remarks. And the playwright, Edward Albee, it was a genius. It was a genius movie because it really showed that type of woman who is angry at men, and so she tries to always put down the man. But that doesn't mean that such a woman doesn't want that type of man in her life. It just means that she can't seem to relate to a man in a healthy way. Okay, so I know that was a completely meandering off topic, but I was really thinking about this kind of thing. Okay. what is coming in is represented by the Knight of Pentacles. This could be someone, this could be a facet of you where you are just pouring yourself into your work. If this is reflected, if the Six of Wands, it reflects your current status of having a lot of success at work, this is another confirmation card of that. And you may, for whatever reason, it just may be what is happening in your reality. You know, oh, let me go back, because I got kind of distracted, because I do want to talk about this particular card, and this is kind of the practical advice. And this is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is a card that asks of you to look at a person. Now, if this person is a Pisces that you happen to be dealing with, who is being very nice to you, one thing I do want to say is that just because somebody is nice to you doesn't mean they're the right person for you. So please, if you know that you're not attracted to someone, but you feel compelled to stick around because the fact that they are being nice to you feels novel, you know, it feels like a different thing for you, and you usually are used to people who are not nice to you, don't do that, because it's really a situation where you're not interested in such a person, and that will lead you to not respect them and be disrespectful. And you know, sometimes it might be that you're trying to be disrespectful to deliberately drive them away, because you don't want to just come out and say, you know, and you don't want to reject them. But it's better to let somebody know that you don't think that you and they are a good match than to do anything negative, treat them in a disrespectful way. You know, also too, I just want to say too, if this person is an Aries, why did I say Aries? Well, that's a fire sign, because I really think it would probably be more like Leo. And I think the King of Wands might even be a second notion of that, kind of agreeing with that notion. But regardless, if it is or if it isn't, you might not feel a sense of affinity with this person too. I don't think that fire and water a lot of times are on the same page. Of course, that's just going by the sun signs. I'm not, you know, and we're more than our sun signs. But that goes without saying that we have multiple influences. But I have to say that because I just got somebody else who said, yeah, you can't say, somebody said to me yesterday, you can't say that every so-and-so sign is going to be the same. And of course not. But these are archetypes. And I reserve the right to broad brush, because more times than not, it will be accurate. And it's meant to be an archetype, and it's meant to be a compartment. So, you know, the sun sign is one compartment. The sun in Scorpio is a subcompartment. And that's what astrology is. Otherwise, get rid of astrology, because it's no good unless you do personal readings, right? Unless you do a natal chart interpretation. Well, yes and no. But this has some value. Even like these general tarot readings, they have value even if they are general. They can give you signs. Sometimes they can be downright accurate. I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about anyone. The law of averages, just in and of itself, will show that to be true, but synchronicity. So, I'm broad brushing, but it can be very much the case. And I want to point out something else here, because this is what we have as the outcome, the Hierophant. And I did get that Knight of Pentacles can be a Taurus person. So it is possible that you will discover that somebody that you have been interested in, maybe, or the better thing to say is maybe they're interested in you and you are intrigued by it, but you're not feeling it. To own up to those feelings. Don't lie to yourself and act like you should be with this person because they are interested in you. No, it has to be mutual. But there might be a Taurus person coming on the scene at some point who is the right person for you, because we have 2 cards that connect with Taurus. And this person, if this is an actual sun sign in Taurus, Taurus is your opposite sign, and earth and water get along famously because they're on the same page. They're coming from the same mindset that family is important, that our personal, the home is important. They tend to be more traditional. They tend to be more home-oriented and family-oriented. There's a broad brush right there. Somebody might be watching this who is a Scorpio rising and sun in Aries and says, that's not true. I'm very, family oriented and I'm an Aries. Hey, I understand that. I'm talking about the fact that feminine signs, earth and water, are very interested in their own subjective life, which means their families, their homes, their friends, they're, kind of a close-knit group of people. There's kind of that quality of internalizing things and making things very personal to you, which Scorpio is big on. Okay? Fire signs and air signs, they form new friendships very easily. They like new things. They like, they want to explore, they want freedom, they kind of are hard to pin down. That doesn't mean they don't have children, that doesn't mean they don't own homes. They can do all that, but they might not be in the home that much, even though they have one. And they might take their children while they're traveling the world. I know that Scorpios can travel, but it's about the way a person's energy is directed towards. The feminine signs are directed inward, just like the high priestess versus the magician. One is like an outer magic and one is an inner magic. Okay? All right, that's what I have for you. Oh, let me pick that additional card. I just noticed I was at almost the 28-minute mark and I completely forgot. I'm glad I'm doing this though, even if this is going to be a long reading. I was intending to make longer readings this month. Now, this might not directly relate to your love life, or we can draw a conclusion or connection. Setting your course, 3 of Scrolls. I'm going to put this to the side. You can see that that's a person on a ship with a telescope. Let's see what it says. The captain of a ship stands on the forward bridge surveying the horizons through a telescope. 2 officers nearby refer to an unrolled chart. A rainbow colors the sky. This is a great time to broaden your horizons in both your personal and business lives. kind of like an air sign or a fire sign. Don't limit yourself to only one direction. Your opportunities are greater than just what you see. When you widen your scope, you'll find your way to limitless options and boundless wealth. This card can also show a potential partnership or affiliation among 3 people who can be helpful on your path. Travel or relocation may be on the agenda too. And, that sounds to me like the 3 of Wands, expansion, okay? So definitely I got fire energy, but I feel like with these last 2 cards, these are like, the Hierophant refers to Taurus, but also to marriage. So if you're looking for a permanent relationship, and I know a lot of Scorpios are, you're a fixed sign, you want somebody who you can count on, who can commit, and a Taurus person certainly would fit that bill. But I'm, you know, that could just be the type of person. Maybe it's not an actual Taurus sign person, but somebody who is reliable. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is has a great work ethic. They're very reliable, consistent, practical, and they are very driven to earn money. So that can be very good for somebody who's looking for a life partner and they want to share resource and they want to build, a builder, okay? And the fixed signs like Taurus and Scorpio, you're both fixed signs. You're both builders, the fixed signs are. So, yeah, that's what I have for you. And if you'd like a private reading, the link to my love reading is below this video. I wish you a wonderful September. Take care, Scorpio. Bye.